So it's kind of like it's suffering, how we make more suffering, and impermanence. That's the short version. Vimlasara's got the full version off by heart. I'm afraid I have to look at the book. But anyway, just say a few words about those. So for those of you here for the workshop this morning, we were doing some of that this morning. But in a sense, I see it as very much a sort of groundwork of learning how the mind works, so that we can work more creatively with our mind by seeing, the sort of pain that is part of life, and seeing how we respond to that in ways often that just adds to our pain. Because that's the trouble. That what happened? It's not. There is pain. It's inevitable that we're all going to suffer it sometimes. There's always going to be painful experiences. But then so often how we respond to that, usually by trying to push it away, we actually create more suffering. So the first three steps are really about seeing how all that works, seeing how we create more suffering. And particularly the emphasis on our impermanence as well is about seeing that actually things can change. So often when we're caught in a painful mind state, we just feel it's never going to end. It's always going to be like this. We also get the converse that, when we're sort of, feeling happy, we can often get caught up in, everything's fine now, it's all sorted, and, I'm never going to, have a problem again. But actually seeing impermanence can be really quite key, because if we see that addiction's a problem in our life, but we don't think we can change it, we won't try and change. But actually, the more that we can see that things do change, they're actually changing all the time, then we're more likely to have the confidence that this difficulty can change, addiction, and we're more likely to engage and do something about it. So the first three steps are really about seeing how our mind works, understanding that on a deeper level. It draws very strongly on the mindfulness-based approaches. So the sort of course that I mentioned earlier, the mindfulness-based relapse prevention that we've now called mindfulness-based addiction recovery. We use a lot of the material out of that for these three steps.